Now back to our top story of the hour. 40 manufacturers are today showcasing alternatives to plastic bags. The government will ban from Monday. The exhibition at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, comes after the government maintained that the ban on the use of plastic bags in the country remains firmly in place and will take effect this coming Monday. The Principal Secretary in the Environment Ministry, Charles Sunkuli, says that not all plastics are affected by the ban, but maintained that the directive will be enforced despite a plea by manufacturers. But let's now hear it from the horse's mouth. Charles Sunkuli, the Principal Secretary of the Ministry of Environment, now joins us once again in the studio for that conversation. Just make it clear for us what has been banned, what has not been banned.
What has already been banned under the Gazette notice is all the plastic bags with the Gazette and the flat carrier bags. But we went ahead to make a clarification that the primary packaging material for the food industry, for the flour industry, have not been banned. We have also not banned the bin liners, the waste bin liners. And the rest of the carrier bags have been banned. And we have issued a clarification on what has been banned. What we are saying is that we want Kenya to go green. And we want alternative packaging materials, carrier materials, to be used in the manufacture of carrier bags. And as a ministry, we are prepared to start the inspection from Monday. We are going to make sure no manufacturer is producing the banned materials. And we are also saying that we want to encourage the alternative producers to support through policy, through incentives, which we have already begun, to make sure that we have a huge coverage of these materials.
You mentioned that the inspection on Monday will begin with the manufacturers and suppliers. You said that a bit earlier on. But there's also a question that I've seen a number of people ask on social media. What if I'm randomly found carrying a plastic bag as a random Kenyan?
We have made a clarification that as a ministry, as NEMA, we want to target the supply from Monday. The rest of the implementation will also be done by the counties through the normal regulation of the municipal authorities. So we expect that we deal with the supply from Monday, and a clarification has already been issued to the counties on what action to take as per the regulation.
Yesterday we hosted one of the sector experts at the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, and he raised a number of issues. One of them was they say they were not consulted and there was no public participation in this particular decision-making process.
We have had that concern from the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, but we say we've been engaging with them for the last 15 years. 15 years is a long time to engage. We have also engaged the public through several fora, explaining the danger of using plastic materials. So Kenya Association of Manufacturers have actually been involved in our discussions over the last 15 years.
Another concern is that 6 months really was such a short time to implement this particular ban.
But the 6 months was just the period to effect the ban. But the discussion has been going on for 15 years, so that is adequate time for the industry to adjust to alternatives. Yeah.
So how exactly is this implementation going to work? Post-Monday, you've talked about going specifically to all the manufacturers and suppliers, but let's take a look at how it happens in the counties. Like you say, you're incorporating county governments. How is this implementation process going to be like?
First of all, from Monday, our inspectors, who will be flagged later today, will start the inspection by going to each of the factories to see whether they are complying with this directive. That will cut the supply across the country. Now the next phase is what happened to the plastic bags that are in the shops. We are working with the county government to use their legislative framework to ensure that they enforce the ban, because we cannot be spread that much. The county government will be able to do that. So we are already in discussion with them. We are also in discussion with the law enforcement authorities to take action on this. However, our main emphasis from Monday is to cut off the supply.
What happens when one is found to not be complying?
We have given an advice on anybody who is not complying will obviously face the law.
What does the law say in this for the sake of our viewers?
Any producer who is producing the banned materials will obviously be fined.
How much
and
is
the fine has already been defined between 2 million to 4 million. And this is a consultative figure. This figure has arisen through a consultative process, through stakeholder workshops, through seminars, and this is what the stakeholders decided.
We know that there's already a case in court filed by a number of manufacturers trying to shoot down this particular ban. Are you prepared for the kind of court cases that are coming up as a result of this? And does it worry you that it comes, the hearing is tomorrow, and it comes just about 3 days to the deadline?
Let me not comment on the court matter because of legal issues, for obvious reasons. But let me say that this is the first environmental matter that the court is handling. So we are excited that for the first time we are able to have a case before the court or that will look at an environmental matter to ensure that we have a decision that will take us forward. Yeah.
Let's take a look at these alternatives that the government has been urging Kenyans to take up. We know that there was an export today. 40 manufacturers have been given a green light to go ahead with manufacturing the alternatives. What are these alternatives? How expensive are they? How are Kenyans going to go about this?
One thing about the alternatives is that they are going to be for multiple use. For example, the kiondos. You're going to buy once and you'll not buy for about 4 years. But what we are looking at here is not really to fill the gap left by the polythene bags. We want to fill the gap that will ensure that we have a sustainable environment. We'll have materials that can be used now and for a long time, the reusables. So that is the kind of advantage that we have for the local user. Yeah.
Someone here on Twitter is asking, will this ban affect the small paper bags for mama mbogas? And
yes, it will.
So what alternatives are they expected to use?
We have quite a number of materials that are being displayed today. I may not give them each a name,
of course,
but we have a wide range of alternatives that were displayed today by the producers, and we expect them to roll out from Monday. We expect the supply to start going into the various distribution chain.
In terms of implementation, you've said that the inspection officers will start going around. How many are they? Are you confident that you will be able to cover all the manufacturers and suppliers in the country with the team you have?
Most of these are in Nairobi, 179. We have adequate numbers of inspectors to carry the inspection from Monday. By the end of next week, they should have completed the inspection, and we'll definitely have found out what is happening there.
Let's talk about some of the things that will be opened up as a result of this ban. You've said that the county inspectorate will be ensuring the implementation or championing for the implementation on the counties, but there's also a concern that this might also open up a corruption channel. Did you factor that in?
We don't foresee a corruption channel because we are very clear and very transparent in our decision. And we'll encourage anybody who has a complaint that a corruption avenue is emerging to raise that with us, and we'll be able to take up that matter.
Whichever way the court rules tomorrow on the case filed by the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, are you prepared for whatever outcome?
We are prepared because we wouldn't know the decision of the court. We expect, of course, a favorable ruling, but we are prepared on one thing, that we must clean Kenya. Yes.
Another question, will disposable cups and plates be affected in this ban?
They are not. They're not affected.
They're not affected. Okay, that's one question from someone on Twitter. What do you expect from Kenyans after Monday?
After Monday, we expect Kenyans to have a culture change. Two things to come up. One is to abandon the use of polythene carrier bags. We expect Kenyans to now pack their carrier bags, the reusables, or the allowable ones, the biodegradables, to go to when they're going to work. For those who are working, can go pass through the shop and use them to carry their shoppings. But we also expect that the throwaway culture will start ending, because the way you throw paper bags everywhere, we hope that among the Kenyan population will embrace the need to ensure that we have a clean environment and avoid the throwaway culture.
Are the fines different for manufacturers, suppliers, and individuals? If so, what are the fines like for individuals? Like you say, mama mbogas will be affected.
There's a wide range. I mean, the fines are defined. And this is probably something I may not authoritatively give it offhand now, but they are classified and there are differences in terms of the rates.
There's also another concern from the Association of Manufacturers on the number of things or the number of bags or the kind of bags that you've decided you will not ban. They say they had a long list, that there's a conversation they had with the government, but you've only exempted a few and are yet to gazette them.
We did not require to gazette the exempted ones because the ban was very clear and what was banned. What the Kenya Association of Manufacturers is asking us to gazette as exemption, we've just clarified because they were not banned anyway. So we have clarified what range of products are not banned. Those that are used in the flour industry, those that are used for primary food packaging, the bin liners for waste. So a wide range of products in primary packaging.
Finally, as you say, you've incorporated the counties. Are they fully aware on what they are implementing, what they should look out for, what the law says?
You saw yesterday, I think it was on this channel, the deputy governor of Wasingishu. He said that we are prepared to implement and we support this ban. So you can see already the indications are that everybody supports this ban. And counties, even talking to them informally, are prepared for the ban. So we expect substantial support from all stakeholders in terms of ensuring that this ban succeeds.
Thank you very much for joining us here on Kivumbi 2017 and ensuring that you clarify on some of these things. We just have 4 days to go.
Yeah.
Charles Sunkuli is the Principal Secretary at the Ministry of Environment. Remember, you only have 4 days to go to get rid of your plastic bags, or as he says, they will be coming for you.